Hi crafters, this is Cindy with mrsbscraftroom.blogspot.com. Here today with a card made using the Cricut Cake Holiday Cake Cartridge. I've just recently purchased the Holiday Cake Cartridge. I don't own a Cricut Cake yet. I hope to someday. But until then, I'll have to be happy making cards with the cake cartridges. So today what I've decided to do is using the Holiday Cakes cartridge, using the image on page 49, I am, cutting the main flower image here, and then the layers that are here, and then the shadow feature that are here, that's here for my card. And then I'm also using the scallop that you can find on page 58, and it's the plain base scalloped that I'll be using. So let's go make a card. Okay, now on my Gypsy, what I did is I took a basic card image, which is right here, and I took that from the Just Because Cartridge. And let's get to that cartridge. I just took a regular A2 card size, any one of these that are A2 card size, selected that, put it on my mat, and then I made the card size 8.5 by 5.5, so 8.5 wide by 5.5 high, and that way it'll be a standard A2 card size. Then for the flower images, I've selected from the Holiday Cakes cartridge. Holiday Cakes. Let's go to that one. I selected the flowers there that we see. So once I selected those and put those on my mat, let's zoom in on that. I copied the flowers, and so there's actually two of them, and I copied the flowers, and if you notice on the Advanced tab, I did flip the flower, so I did flip it so that they wouldn't be identical going back and forth, and I scooched them in. So they were like this, and then I just used the little arrow button to scooch those over so that the little flower, this one right here, was on top of the other little flower from the other image. And then I just grouped those together. So I used the group feature and selected both items, and then closed the group feature off, and then went to the Advanced tab and welded them. And so when we look at the little eyeball, we'll see that the cut that will happen is a full-length border piece, the width of my card, with that center section welded together so it only cuts one flower. Okay, and let's see, let's go back out, and you can see if I drag that over to my card, you'll see that fits right across my card. Alright, so that's the main piece that I cut with the flowers. Then I did basically the same thing with the scallops. I selected the scallops from the Holiday Cakes cartridge. Let's see, I believe it's one of these. Oh, here it is. Whoops. That's the scallop I chose. And again, I took one scallop and copied it, and then scooched it over so that they were on top of each other, and then welded. Alright, you little guy. It's not wanting to move. There we go. Okay, now he's moved. So I'm going to scooch him over, and then I grouped those two together and welded them, and when we look at the little eyeball, we'll see that it will cut as one border piece of a scallop. I wasn't too concerned about the scallop fitting perfectly across my card because I can always cut one of the ends off when I'm finished. So that was the first mat. So that's on mat number 1. Then on mat number 2, I picked the border, or the, the shadow pieces for the flowers, and I did the same thing. I brought in 2 shadow pieces, flipped one, scooched them together, and then welded them together. So when they cut, they'll cut in one piece, like that. And I go up here. There were several layers with this flower, and I wasn't really quite sure what I was going to do with them, so I just copied them several times, and I cut the different layers out of different cardstock. So I just basically placed them around my mat, and then I would put 4 different colors of cardstock. So that's basically it. That's the layout on the Gypsy. Let's go and make a fun card. All right, so here we have our card base cut, and I've already scored along the score line, so I'll fold that in half. And I have already cut this 3 scallop borders. I've used 3 different pieces of designer paper, and these came from, let's see, Die Cuts with a View, the Flower Shower Stack. And so I cut each of the scallops that I had designed and cut and welded on my Gypsy, and let's go ahead and start placing those on the card. So first, I'm going to layer these scallops on our card. So the first layer goes on the bottom there. Okay, and then the next layer I'm just kind of eyeball those and line up the scallops. Okay, and then the last layer Alright, and so you'll notice I have some excess over here on the end. I'm just going to take my scissors and cut those off. So now we have a straight edge. Now I'm going to add my ribbon. Let's see. Go ahead and add some adhesive along the front. Oops. Doesn't want to stick to that. Interesting. Go ahead and tie our bow. And I kind of like the tails to go up in opposite directions. I think it gives it a little bit more oomph to the bow. So we'll trim off our ends. There we go. I'll fiddle with that a little bit more. And then we'll add the flowers. I love how those flowers turned out. Do you see all those flowers? I'm not going to kid you. There was a lot of layers there. I cut several different layers from the same color, or from different colors, so that I could layer them up differently. But the end result was very cute. So let's go ahead and put some pop dots on the back of those flowers. Okay, and we're going to stamp the word love onto a little scallop that I punched out using my, not scallop, but an oval that I used punching out from my Stampin' Up! Punches. And we'll just go ahead, I'm going to stamp the word love right on there, and then just slide, let's put that on the pop dot. Slide that right into, under the bow area, and there we have it. Super cute card. Thanks for watching, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.